Tony Grimes has committed to North Carolina. We got to talk about it after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You got to help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. So it's college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about the number one cornerback in the 2021 class, the number 7 overall recruit in the 247 Sports Composite, Tony Grimes, choosing to commit to the University of North Carolina, spurning places like Texas A&M and Ohio State and Georgia and everybody that wanted him so that he could go to play for Mack Brown. Yes, that Mack Brown, who in his first stint at North Carolina won 69 games before assuming controls at Texas, where he did the impossible and won a national championship. Well, when you got Vince Young, you got Cedric Benson, and you got, a game on the line, you call VY, and VY takes you to TD, and that's how you get over on Reggie and USC. Now, Tony Grimes is coming out of Princess Anne in Virginia, not unlike another outstanding cornerback about 25 years ago. Shows up to North Carolina after being a standout baseball player and an all-state player in Virginia. And sits the bench first year, then shows up as a redshirt freshman and proceeds to help lead the 1996 Tar Heels to a 10-2 season where they suffered losses to top 25 Virginia and number 2 Florida State en route to winning a bowl game. That man's name is Dre Bly. Dre Bly had 11 interceptions as a redshirt freshman in 1996. He was also first-team All-America as a redshirt freshman. If that sounds rare, it's because it is. Dre Bly joined Herschel Walker, Tony Dorsett, Marshall Faulk, and a kicker named Bjorn Metzer out of North Carolina, of all places, as the only players in college football history to earn first-team All-America as redshirt freshmen. And remember, this is still at a time when true freshmen didn't really play, right? That's just not a thing that really happened. That's only been a recent occurrence here in the last decade or so. And that is who Tony Grimes is committing to play for. Now, Dre Bly still has some things to prove as a coach, but as a player, he finished his NFL career with 43 interceptions, a Super Bowl, All-Pro, and Pro Bowls to go to his name. Now, in his early 40s, he joined a staff that is headed up by Jay Bateman. If Jay Bateman's name sounds familiar to some of y'all who lurk on this channel, it's because he was defensive coordinator at Army when they were a nose hair from beating Oklahoma in Norman in double overtime. This was a team that needed heroics from the likes of Kenneth Murray and Kyler Murray to try to get over on a really good Army football team that's quarterbacked by Kelvin Hopkins, one up to him. Bateman and the Black Knights were able to control offenses in 2018 to the tune of 17.7 points per game. That's what they held them to. They gave up fewer than 300 yards a game. Now, you could say some of that is the triple option, but the offense is the offense, right? The defense is the defense. And what we saw is that Jay Bateman's defense translates because last year, the Tar Heels were, again, a nose hair from beating a team that played in the national championship game, finished national runner-up, and who had to have one of the greatest college football teams of all time beat them to unseat them. That'd be LSU Tigers, who went 15-0 and had the Heisman quarterback in Joe Burrow. Now, with Sam Howell at quarterback and with this schedule that is daunting, it's ridiculously hard, they got Auburn up front, they got games this year. Getting wins like this for the 18th commitment of the 2021 class is not anything that you get to not talk about. Because I'm so terribly intrigued by North Carolina because I think they have an opportunity to be really good, not just because of Bateman and Dre Bly and what they will return on defense, but because offensively, they're going to get better, and Phil Longo's offense works. As a matter of fact, when Mack Brown was putting together his staff, when he took the job at North Carolina, one of his first phone calls was to Lincoln Riley. And he asked Lincoln Riley, who do you respect most? Who do you think among offensive coordinators is really outstanding at their job? And Lincoln Riley pointed to the guy at Ole Miss at the time, said Phil Longo. Phil Longo gets it. Phil Longo will have it humming. And then Mack Brown went and did what he does best, recruit. He recruited the best he could get at Ole Miss in Phil Longo and the best he could get at Army in Jay Bateman, and then flipped Sam Howell from Florida State to North Carolina. And then Sam Howell proceeds to have the best true freshman season that we had seen by a quarterback, and that includes Trevor Lawrence. Yes, Trevor Lawrence won a college football playoff national championship, and that is in another category altogether. But when you're talking about what he was able to do with the football, passing yards, passing touchdowns, 38, over 3,800 yards passing in his true freshman season, you can see how the way that folks are talking about Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields this year is the way that they're going to be talking about Sam Howell next year. He has the goods. Of that 2019 class, there have been some really outstanding players, and Bo Nix might be the 10th best of them, right? You're talking about Hank Bachmeier, who before injury was looking so awesome at Boise State and led them from behind to beat Florida State in Tallahassee. You're talking about Jaden Daniels, who led Arizona State to a win against an Oregon team that not only won the Pac-12 championship, but won the Rose Bowl against Wisconsin and threw just 2 interceptions in his true freshman season. You're talking about kids like Spencer Rattler, who's going to come of age this year, we think, with him winning the quarterback competition between he and Tanner Mordecai to quarterback a team and a program that has seen 3 consecutive, well, 4 if you want to count Baker Mayfield twice, Heisman finalists at quarterback. Tony Grimes gets to go against those wideouts and gets to go against that quarterback in his true freshman season. I expect him to start. I expect him to be the heir apparent to what Dre Bly built, which was quite literally the greatest career that we had seen by a North Carolina football player ever. Ever. And Mack Brown is heading both of those. Tony Grimes gets compared to Kyle Fuller for good reason. For the player who is ranked number 20 in the top 247, Brian Doan came up with this evaluation. First round projection, of course, comparing to Kyle Fuller. Wide shoulders and good length, frame of safety with cornerback skills, instinctual player with high skill level, physical and smooth, tracks the ball well and has great timing, opens hips and runs with ease, long strider who can cover on long crossing routes and deep throws, strong upper body, helps reroute receivers with jams, comfortable in backpedal and explodes forward out of it. Good tackler and asset in run defense, high IQ and off the field. Has it on and off the field. Leadership qualities, must get stronger in lower body, ready to play at elite program when he steps on campus. First round NFL draft pick. This man has been outstanding in both the 100, the 200, long jump, the 55 indoor, and 300. That's tough. That's tough. So that's Tony Grimes. And that's what Mack Brown just landed, a 5-star, as he continues to build what looks like might end up being, at the very least, a top 10 class, but has a shot to be a top 5 class. All right, that is it for me. Deuces.